Alright, welcome everybody to another mixing video. Today we're going to be looking at part 8 of mixing a song start to finish. And I think we're actually going to finish this up. So last time we focused on the lead vocals here, as well as the vocal effects. So what I did off camera was I did some automation, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually play the song all the way through, show you some of the automation going on, and then explain why I made the decisions I did, and then finally I'll throw on the FGX on the master fader, bring this up to level, tighten it up just a little bit, and then yeah, we'll have a finished mix here. So let's go ahead and listen to this, and we'll check out some of the faders moving around. Just note real quick, all the faders that have the green R on them are the channels that have some automation, as well as I used the Bass Rider plugin here on the bass bus. So yeah, let's take a listen to it and watch these faders move around a little bit.
तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। राजा हूँ मैं तेरा, तू ही रह जाना बस मेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। सुबह की हसीन सी है धूप सी, मैं शाम हूँ अंधेरी सी अधूरी सी। तू सुबह की हसीन सी है धूप सी, मैं शाम हूँ अंधेरी सी अधूरी सी। तेरी हंसी जैसे है रोशनी, बिखरी यहाँ हर कहीं। तुझसे मिला मुझको ये आसमां, तुझसे मिली है ज़मीन। मैं सहरा सहरा भटका, तू बारिश की है बूंद कोई। मैं सहरा सहरा भटका, तू बारिश की है बूंद कोई। राजा हूँ मैं तेरा, तू ही रह जाना बस मेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। आस है मेरी प्यास है, तू हर खुशी हर वक्त है इस दिल को बस तेरी कमी। तू आस है मेरी प्यास है, तू हर खुशी हर वक्त है इस दिल को बस तेरी कमी। तेरी खुशी में है मेरी खुशी, कर ले तू मुझ पे यकीन। मुझसे क्यों है रूठी, मैं तुझ बिन चैन न पाऊं कहीं। तू मुझसे क्यों है रूठी, मैं तुझ बिन चैन न पाऊं कहीं। राजा हूँ मैं तेरा, तू ही रह जाना बस मेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी।
So, let's explain what's going on here. So, for me, the most important one was actually riding this vocal effects bus right here. In the intro, where it was just acoustic guitar and the lead vocal, it really needed to be dialed back. And then I felt like in the verse it could come back up, and then pre-chorus a little more, and chorus a little bit more. Finally, at the very last chorus, it was being boosted to 1.5 dB, just to really widen things up and fatten up that image. For the vocal track, what I did was, in the verse and the intro, I had it turned down 1 dB. Then in the pre-chorus, I had it turned down 0.5 dB, so raised up 0.5 dB from the verse, that is. And then in the chorus, it was at 0. So pretty simple. Just adding a little bit more automation on top of the Vocal Writer plugin that I had inserted earlier. The pre-master bus, in the pre-chorus, I was raising it 0.5 dB, and then in the chorus, raising it 1 dB. So just to give it a little more energy, that 1 dB actually can be quite a difference. As far as bass guitar, I'm using a preset called Bass Suppressor, and it's just basically detecting when the notes are just a little too loud, and it brings it down about 0.5 dB to 1 dB. Real subtle thing there. The arpeggiated synth, I had it at its normal volume in the pre-chorus, and then raised it up a little bit in the chorus, just to add some depth. The guitar bass double, in the verse it was a little bit too loud, so I had it turned down. And then it was getting lost a little bit in the pre-chorus and chorus, so I just turned it up for that. And same thing with the electric guitar. It was fine in the verse, but in the chorus part, it was getting a little bit lost, so I added some automation there. And just for a little bit of energy, I automated this room mic. So in the chorus, it got a little bit more of that room sound, and in my opinion, just fattened things up. So yeah, real simple automation. I felt like things were already pretty under control. So I mean, there's a lot of compression and a lot of just a lot of compression everywhere, basically. So there wasn't a lot of automation needed, but just these little things, I mean, it can make a huge difference. If I really wanted to, I could automate this vocal spread effects bus here, but I think that automating the vocal effects bus was enough there. So finally, the very last step here is I'm going to add Slate Digital FGX. You might use the waves limiters, but my favorite here is this FGX, and I use this on every single mix. If I do mastering, I use this. I can't wait for FGX2 to come out, because FGX1 is already incredible. I can't really even imagine how they can improve on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial this in, and then I'll come back and explain everything afterwards. So I'm going to take this from the very beginning and sort of dial this in.
तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचिनो मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचिनो मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी राजा हूँ मैं तेरा तू ही रह जाना बस मेरी तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचिनो मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी सुबह की हसीन सी है धूप सी मैं शाम हूँ अंधेरी सी अधूरी सी तू सुबह की हसीन सी है धूप सी मैं शाम हूँ अंधेरी सी अधूरी सी तेरी हसी मुझको ये आसमां, तुझसे मिली है ज़मीन। मैं सहरा सहरा भटका, तू बारिश की है बूंद कोई। मैं सहरा सहरा भटका, तू बारिश की है बूंद कोई। रांझा हूँ मैं तेरा, तू ही रह जाना बस मेरी। तू बन मेरी कैपुचिनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। तू बन मेरी कैपुचिनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। तू आस है मेरी प्यास है, तू हर खुशी हर वक्त है इस दिल को बस तेरी कमी। तू आस है मेरी प्यास है, तू हर खुशी हर वक्त है इस दिल को बस तेरी कमी। तेरी खुशी में है मेरी खुशी, कर ले तू मुझ पे यकीन। ये जिंदगी तेरी मेरे लिए, तेरे लिए आशिकी। तू मुझसे क्यों है रूठी, मैं तुझ बिन चैन न पाऊं कहीं। तू मुझसे क्यों है रूठी, मैं तुझ बिन चैन न पाऊं कहीं। रांझा हूँ मैं तेरा, तू ही रह जाना बस मेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचिनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचिनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी।
Okay, so after I explain here, I'll remove the constant gain monitoring and show you what the real level is going to be like. So first off, I clicked in the constant gain monitoring, so that way whatever changes I make here, I'm not getting fooled by volume. So let's talk about the FG comp first. I used a very, very light ratio, 1.2. Okay, so I really just want this to ever so slightly have some compression, because I already compressed the mix bus with VBC rack, and I really don't need very much compression. Really, I'm just using this to get the pumping and breathing effect of a slow attack and fast release. So I have the slowest attack, fastest release, very light ratio, and it's only compressing at max about half a dB. So this is really just here to, like I said, give it some movement and pump and breathe a little bit, because that's kind of what I get the vibe from this track. That kick drum has a little bit of a danciness a bit about it, you know, that 4 on the floor type of thing. Anyway, that's why I used the FG comp the way I did. I could have easily done without it, but just to get the characteristic of it, yeah, I'm compressing about half a dB there. Okay, then I came over to the FG level, which is the really, it's not a limiter, but for the sake of not knowing exactly what to call it, I'm gonna call it a limiter. So I came over here to the dynamic perception, and for me, usually the sweet spot's around here at 4. And this really, it really does exactly what it says. It helps you perceive dynamics. Because sometimes when you use limiters and things like that, it gets louder, but your dynamics are just destroyed. So I always dial that in first, and then I dialed in some detail to get some of that that snare sound, because that's another thing. Your transients sometimes are lost when you use limiters. So I get the snare to where I like it, and then I listen to the bass guitar and the kick drum, and I dial in this low punch here. So that's these 3 knobs here, 1, 2, and 3. And then as far as gain, that's just me raising the level up to commercial standard, which is about an RMS meter of about minus 10 dB. So yeah, it's not always at minus 10, but at the loudest points it's hitting about minus 10. I could push it harder, but then you'll get a little bit of distortion, and that's not what I want for this kind of track. In maybe a metal track, you could push it a little harder and that slight distortion would sound great. But to me, it's going to be loud enough, and it's going to be loud enough, and it's not gonna be distorted. So that's what I wanted here. And as far as this ITP, I didn't do anything because I didn't feel like it needed to be smoothed out or hardened. I just keep it right where its default setting is. And the ceiling that I have set is minus 0.1. I'll have to ask Abhinav with whether or not he plans to stream this to like SoundCloud or something like that, because if that's the case, then I'll set this ceiling to maybe like minus 0.5 or lower, because sometimes when you convert to an MP3, if you have the ceiling set too high, you'll get some distortion, because the way that MP3s work, it's kind of playing a guessing game of sorts. So anyway, I'm going to disengage this constant gain monitoring, and I'm going to play the track start to finish one last time, and yeah, we'll give it a listen. Just be warned that it's going to be a little bit louder, so you might want to turn your speakers down or lower the volume in your headphones. And yeah, we'll listen to this and we'll call it a day from there.
तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। राजा हूँ मैं तेरा, तू ही रह जाना बस मेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। सुबह की हसीन सी है धूप सी, मैं शाम हूँ अंधेरी सी अधूरी सी। तू सुबह की हसीन सी है धूप सी, मैं शाम हूँ अंधेरी सी अधूरी सी। तेरी हंसी जैसे है रोशनी, बिखरी यहाँ है कहीं। तुझसे मिला मुझको ये आसमां, तुझसे मिली है ज़मीन। मैं सहरा सहरा भटका, तू बारिश की है बूंद कोई। मैं सहरा सहरा भटका, तू बारिश की है बूंद कोई। राजा हूँ मैं तेरा, तू ही रह जाना बस मेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचीनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी। है मेरी प्यास है, तू हर खुशी हर वक्त है इस दिल को बस तेरी कमी। तू आस है मेरी प्यास है, तू हर खुशी हर वक्त है इस दिल को बस तेरी कमी। तेरी खुशी में है मेरी खुशी, कर ले तू मुझ पे यकीन। मुझसे क्यों है रूठी, मैं तुझ बिन चैन न पाऊं कहीं। राजा हूँ मैं तेरा, तू ही रह जाना बस मेरी, तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचिनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी, तू बंदी मेरी कैपुचिनो, मैं सस्ती वाली चाय तेरी।
So that's a wrap, really. Um, I hope that you guys have really enjoyed this series. Really, the reason I did this was because Abhinav came to me and said, "Hey, I'm having some troubles thinking of where to start to mix this." So I told him, "Hey, how about I just mix it and make videos of this so you can see my thought process." So yeah, I hope that this was helpful to him as well as you guys, because you could always send me your mix if you want, but to me it's better if you learn how to mix things yourself. One thing I also forgot to mention here is that I basically muted all like little silence parts, just so that there's no noise from the plugins or anything. But anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent there. So yes, just a quick little recap. Automation is king when it comes to mixing, and if you want something to increase your level, FGX, there's always sales going on about it or for it, and this is just one of the best plugins I've ever used ever. Yeah, I can't really live without this plugin anymore, and I did have to go in and add a little bit more of the detail knob once I listened to it again, but all in all, excellent plugin. You can see that it does its job, and that's really all I have to say about it. So once again, thank you so much for watching this. If you watched the entire series, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you learned something from this video. And I'm gonna keep on making these videos, because some people have actually commented and told me that my videos have been helping them in their mixing, and that's really my goal. So I'm really grateful that I can help you guys out. And if you guys have suggestions for me, you could always comment or leave me some tips or whatever, because you're never done learning. Even though I'm making videos teaching these things, I'm always open to learn new techniques or have some constructive criticism. So once again, thank you so much. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you disliked it, you can give it a dislike. That's okay. You're entitled to your opinion, as I always say. If you really liked it, please subscribe. I would really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much once again, and have a great rest of your day.